social media platforms and just being out in the community. The advice I would give is if you're going to come be a recruiter, you have to be passionate. You have to care about kids. Um, you have to care about someone's future, and you have to want to do this and be able to grind and hustle and be a part of the community. So how I measure my success is um, it's not necessarily how many people I recruit, but it's really uh, how much I could push out the message of what the Army offers and what it can do and how it can benefit you. But I also talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly as well. Um, Another way of me achieving my goals is being out in the community. You know, we're big on helping people in the community and showing that we're just not here to recruit people out of high school. We're here to help. I say some of the elements that has made me successful is really just that hard work, grind, and hustling, being a man of the people, and just showing face. So some of the benefits we're offering, like right now, we cash bonus up to $50,000. We have student loan repayment up to certain amounts. Um, you can pick your first duty station, so it's guaranteed wherever you want to work at. You can pick it. Um, there's so many life insurance. There's so many different benefits when it comes with the army. So before I was a recruiter, I was a 11 Bravo infantryman. So I chose to become a recruiter because at the time I was about 5 or 6 years into being in the army, and I was stationed in Hawaii. I had a son that lived in Pennsylvania, and I didn't get to see him that much due to the distance. So at this point, I had to figure out how to keep my career and be able to see my son. How can I do both? So I thought becoming a recruiter, it was a gamble, but it worked out. So that's how I became a recruiter. So a day for an army recruiter, it just depends, but it could be sporadic. It could be hectic. You could be at school all day, or you can be on your computer doing stuff with social media. Um, there's so many different avenues and things we kind of do and approach to be successful. So the ASVAB is the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, and what it is it's a test that you need to score anywhere between a 31 to a 99, and it's based upon percentile, not percentage, and it helps kind of gauge uh, not only score that will qualify you for military service, but also what kind of jobs you would be good at based upon your scores. A a we have a contract as small as 2 years, and we have one as large as 6 years. But what in front of me, I always suggest to at least do 3 years. At 3 years, your benefits aren't prorated, and at 3 years, it's the most minimal amount of time to see if you really enjoy being in the military or not, without being stuck in a contract for too long. To be talking like that. All right, so some of the training we do is once a soldier enlists, every Thursday we have training from 4 to 5. Within that training, it's a combination of physical training to get them physically fit for basic training, and then there's a series of classes of basic elements of being in basic training to get them prepared and ready for basic training. And some of the misconceptions that I hear is one is that um, this ain't necessarily military life, but branches. Like one branch gets paid more than another branch. Some of the misconceptions are you're gonna go to war. You know, you're gonna go to Iraq or Afghanistan or overseas. Um, some of the other misconceptions is you're gonna be at work for hours on end. There's a lot of them out there, and a lot of them are false. So in the Army, we have over 150 jobs to choose from, anywhere from mechanics, any type of mechanic job you want to do, to a lot of different medical jobs. as far as OBGYN. We have registered nurses. We have combat medics. We have truck drivers. Any job you can think of outside the Army, we more than likely have an inside the Army. As far as duty stations, we have them East Coast, West Coast, down South. Some of them are, we have them in California, we have them in Texas, we have them in Washington State, Hawaii, Guam, um, Virginia, upstate New York. I mean, we have duty stations all over the place for active duty. And then when it comes to reserves, all over the United States and also overseas as well. So when it comes to duty stations, we're all over. So it varies. I would say the moment an applicant walks into the office, if they're ready to go and they have all their documentation, I mean, it could be anywhere from 3 weeks to 2 months before they actually get enlisted into the Army. It's definitely not an overnight process. It just depends.
What was that feeling like?
So once I recruited my first soldier, it felt good. It felt good knowing that once I sat down with them and explained all the benefits and everything they're going to achieve and um, what they're going to get, they were happy and excited, and it was a good feeling knowing that I just helped somebody achieve their goals. I'd say one of the biggest challenges, at least for me in my area, is just reaching out to the kids and letting them know about their plans and helping them understand what it's like to be in the real world, and it's not as easy as they think it is. So I would say that's my biggest challenge, and for me to overcome that is really just sitting down with them, drawing up a plan, putting things on a dry erase board, Venn diagram, just to kind of show them and get a better understanding. So how I stay motivated is I remember what I came back here for. I came back here for my kids, but another way for me to stay motivated is also remember my number one goal, which is to help a young man or woman achieve their goals and get them out of the rural community and give them some life skills that they can bring back into that community. Yeah, something I would say just recently, there was a Christmas break. I had a future soldier that I put in about 5 years ago, and he told me that he's currently at Fort Rucker, Alabama. He's a warrant officer working on becoming a pilot. Um, so that felt really good to know that. Some of the other people that I put in that I still talk to, I know someone's in CID, um, Criminal Investigative Department. Some other people are some nurses. There's people who end up on special forces. Some people who end up joining the Rangers. Uh, just last year, there was a senior from Cranberry. That's I got her into ROTC at Gannon University, and she's working on her becoming a PA. There's a lot. There's a lot of success stories, and it feels good knowing that put these people in the community. So for career advancement, some of the opportunities we have is, we're always eligible to take college classes. All we have to do is sign up for them and figure out which courses we want to take. A lot of our training is worth college credits, so it just depends on the college if they accept them. But everything we do is worth college credits, um, and then we can get certifications and whatever we choose to get certified in. We can take CLEP courses. There's so many different opportunities when it comes to career advancements and enhancing yourself within your career. Another opportunity is being able to go to specialized military training schools such as airborne, equal opportunity. There's a plethora of different courses we can take or get signed up for to advance our careers. It changed drastically. I mean, we went from being able to go into school, being in person and face to face contact to no contact at all. So we had to change our whole form of recruiting, and it was a change that was made within days. So it changed drastically. So being that we wasn't able to meet with our demographics face to face, or at least during school, it was a challenge. We had to get creative and think outside the box of different ways to kind of reach our goals and get in front of people. Um, so that's what we just had to adapt. All right, so to help make up for the deficit that we face with COVID-19, the Army has came out with some new programs to kind of help with recruitment. Some of those programs is, for example, the Future Soldier Preparatory Course, which allows you to come in with a lower ASVAB score, and then you get sent to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, for so long and learn everything on the ASVAB to try and increase your score. Another program we have is First Duty Station of Choice. We allow you to pick your first duty station, guaranteed on your contract. Another program is we increase our BMI percentage for people who got a little bit more weight on them. What happens is you can come in with a higher BMI, and then you'll go to um, another base and you'll work out for so long to you lose those percentages. So we have a lot of different programs that help combat what we. So some of the skill sets some of these soldiers bring back to the community is leadership, discipline, structure, time management, and then whatever individual skill that they earn, whether they're a mason, um, heavy equipment operator, nurse, medic, it just depends. So it's not a requirement of a recruiter to stay in touch with the soldiers that they enlisted. But me personally, I do stay in contact with them. So my Facebook has been the same for the last 8 years. That way, because it's all about mentorship and guiding young men and women. Um, so I let them know if you ever have a question, if you ever want to know what's a quick way to get promoted, or how to get some college credits, reach out if you're not already getting help. So.
The shot, it's not a mandatory thing. Um, they can just come in with no vaccinations whatsoever. Um, they're good on that regard. When it comes to selection, I mean, you can use both as a way to get in, whether it be quality or quality. But I mainly just think about it as a person instead of just who's putting in what in terms of whether it be a knowledge base or just how many people you're putting in. So the ASVAB can't be taken online for an actual test, but there are ways you can go online for practice and study material, so you can use that before you take the actual ASVAB. So ways that I myself engage the community is, of course, going to the high schools, trying to go to events like prom or sporting events, and then of course going to YMCA's if they have an event going on. I'll volunteer myself and going out there and trying to put my face in, helping out. Some general strategies to find them is either at the school itself, going through, just talking to people, or phone calls or social media, basically just to see and get a contact that way. If not, I'll just go out to the area in my uniform and just show face. And sometimes people might be scared to talk to me as a military personnel, but sometimes I go up to people and just to see what they're doing.
What was your job before becoming a recruiter?
My job before becoming a recruiter was a 25 uniform. That's the MOS code. It is a IT person, so I worked with radios and computers. Pretty much if anything needed fixed, technology-wise, I would go and fix it. We also controlled some unclassed stuff and just really helped out the unit with any communication needs. So with our future soldiers, we like to engage more than just military classes. We like to bring them in and do different events. Like one that we have coming up is we're going to play dodgeball against the Air Force. So it's going to be the Army and our future soldiers against the Air Force and their future soldiers. And that's just one way we can have fun and kind of let the hair down, if you will, and get out and do something different. So it's not just always Army, Army, Army. We can expand, because for a lot of these future soldiers, I mean, we're the first team, we're their first NCOs, and we want to show them that there's a lot more to the Army than just the Army. With this current generation and it affecting our strategies and how we recruit, we really have to get big on social media, whether that be Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Snapchat. This is how this current generation's currently communicating. There's less face-to-face. They're more timid on face-to-face, and they get out there and they express themselves more on social media. So really getting after it and trying to expand our knowledge base and skills on social media is really effective. I would definitely say how I succeed out here is as soon as I got to the station, being a recruiter, I learned from everyone who was already here for a little bit. Everything that they told me, what they showed me, I really took that in and put that in my toolbox, and then I utilized that after that. Really, you have to get face to face. You have to really show these students and the community that I'm not just an Army recruiter. I'm actually out here and I'm actually a person, and I'm trying to show you what the Army can offer you. I would say the biggest challenges as a recruiter is just keep getting after it, keep going every single day, because you're going to go out of there or get into the schools or into your area, and you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to talk to a student and give your time to them and explain everything about the Army, and they're going to say, no, I don't want to join. And we have a mission to complete at the end of the day for the Army to get more people joining up, because we are a volunteer force. And it's a nice thing because we don't have a draft or anything like that, but with a volunteer force, we need the manpower. So just getting over the no's to finally get a yes is definitely probably the worst thing about it. So the Army has many benefits that it can offer people joining. Really how I like to do it, and if someone comes in having questions and stuff like that, I like to tailor the benefits. I still go over all of them, but if an individual's coming in and they can't pay for college, I'm going to talk to that person about all the opportunities that the Army provides to be able to go to college, whether that be the GI Bill or the tuitions assistance that you can utilize while actually serving to get your education done. If someone's having trouble in their workplace, or they're not liking just being out in the regular civilian workforce, or they're not getting the paycheck they like, I talk about our paychecks. So, I talk about how much money that we get paid, and all the extra funds that we get that not a lot of people know about. So there's such a big range of benefits that we do get. I kind of tailor it to the person and what they want to hear about and what they want to utilize. I would consider my primary goals as a recruiter is going out there, trying to find the best candidates for the job who both have the score, the ASVAB score, that meets the criteria for joining the Army, and then the moral standards and medical standards as well for being able to join the Army. We're looking for high qualified candidates all over the area. So the one thing I like to do with our pool of future soldiers right now is really, get them to start asking questions. And when I mean questions, I want them to ask questions about the Army, not just the tunnel vision of basic training in AIT, but what they're going to be doing in their day-to-day lives, in the real Army. And so we started a Q&A at the end of each of our future soldier trainings to where the soldiers can open up and, ask us like, hey, how was it like when you first got to your, new duty station or new unit? What's the food like? Stuff like that, they may be thinking about, but they may think it's a dumb question. So, I kind of clear the air and be like, hey, ask us questions about the Army. Ask us, what happens when you get to your unit and stuff like that. The other way we like to prepare them, because again, we're our first team. We're their first team. We're their first NCOs. So we've told future soldiers that have shipped out that, if they have problems or if they, need guidance, to give us a ring and be like, hey, I'm going through this, or hey, like, can you talk to my NCO about this? And, just really giving that mentorship that they need at this very beginning stages.
What type of physical training do you do to get the recruitees ready for training?
So the physical training, or PT, that we do with our future soldiers mainly revolves around the PT test that you take within the Army. So a lot of push-ups, the plank, deadlifting, stuff like that, and running. We really just want to get them prepared, especially if the future soldier is not used to working out. Get them prepared for basic training, because that's going to be their first hurdle, and getting them prepared to take the PT test.